Welcome back to Explaining Everything, the channel where we dive into the stories and mysteries behind everyday things. Today's question comes from one of our curious viewers, Miles Cool 78. Thanks for the suggestion, Miles. You asked, who came up with the idea for eyeglasses? Let's face it, the history of glasses isn't exactly clear. From ancient magnifying crystals to Benjamin Franklin's bifocals, the journey to modern eyewear is a fascinating and often hilarious story of trial, error, and a lot of squinting. So, if you've ever struggled to find your glasses while wearing them, or wondered how humanity finally got tired of walking around blind, stick around as we uncover the surprisingly funny origins of glasses, right here on Explaining Everything. Okay, first things first. People in ancient civilizations didn't have glasses. If you were nearsighted or farsighted back in the day, you just dealt with it. Your options were either squinting at everything like you were suspicious of it, or pretending you weren't bumping into walls. But the ancients weren't entirely clueless about optics. The earliest recorded use of lenses comes from ancient Mesopotamia and Egypt, where polished crystals were used as magnifying tools. That's right, people were magnifying hieroglyphs and cuneiform tablets long before they realized they could do the same thing for their own eyeballs. One of the coolest finds is the Nimrud lens, a 3,000-year-old piece of quartz that might have been used as a primitive magnifier. Or maybe it was just ancient decor, because hey, who doesn't love some fancy quartz lying around? Fast forward to medieval Europe, where monks were doing monk things, copying manuscripts, inventing beer, and apparently squinting a lot. These poor guys were spending their lives hunched over books in dimly lit rooms, which, let's face it, is not a recipe for perfect eyesight. Enter the reading stone, a dome-shaped piece of glass you could plop on top of a page to magnify the letters. Think of it as the medieval equivalent of zooming in on your phone screen, except way less convenient and significantly heavier. Legend has it that these reading stones were inspired by natural phenomena, like how droplets of water could magnify text. Imagine the first monk to discover this. Brother Gregory, I've invented something incredible. It's called wet text. Now, the leap from reading stones to actual glasses happened sometime in the late 1200s in Italy, because of course it was Italy, home of pizza, the Renaissance, and apparently corrective lenses. The first spectacles were basically two magnifying lenses mounted in a wooden or metal frame, which you balanced on your nose. There were no arms to hook over your ears, so these things slid around constantly. Imagine trying to read a manuscript while your glasses are playing an impromptu game of slip and slide. We don't know exactly who invented them, but the first written mention of eyeglasses comes from a sermon by a Dominican friar named Giordano da Pisa in 1306. He basically bragged about how glasses were a game changer for the whole being able to see thing. Which, yeah, fair point. By the 1400s, glasses were spreading across Europe, but they were more like a tool than a fashion statement. That's because they looked ridiculous. Imagine walking around with two glass circles strapped to your face with ribbons or leather ties. Not exactly Instagram-worthy, but then, in the 1700s, someone thought, what if glasses didn't make me look like a medieval science experiment. Enter the temples, the little arms that hook over your ears. Finally, you could wear glasses without constantly worrying they'd fall into your soup. By this point, glasses weren't just for monks and scholars anymore. Wealthy merchants and nobles started wearing them too, because who doesn't love showing off that you can afford both books and the ability to read them without squinting? And we can't talk about glasses without giving a shout-out to America's favorite multitasking founding father, Benjamin Franklin. Not only did he fly kites in storms for science, but he also invented bifocals in the 1780s because he was tired of switching between two pairs of glasses. Picture it, Ben Franklin squinting at his reading glasses and his distance glasses, muttering, "There's got to be a better way." And then, bam, he stuck the lenses together and called it innovation. We love a practical genius. By the 19th and 20th centuries, glasses were no longer just functional. They were fashionable. Designers started making frames out of lightweight materials, adding colors, and turning them into a style statement. Celebrities and politicians embraced glasses, proving that looking smart was officially cool. Fun fact, in the 20th century, glasses advertising took off with slogans like "Men seldom make passes at girls who wear glasses." To which we say, what kind of weird marketing flex was that? Of course, we can't forget the arrival of contact lenses in the 20th century. Originally made from glass, ouch, they eventually became the soft, comfortable lenses we know today. And now, we've got LASIK surgery, smart glasses, and even virtual reality goggles, proving that humanity's obsession with vision knows no bounds. But let's take a moment to appreciate how far we've come. From squinting at polished crystals to wearing designer frames that cost as much as rent, the history of glasses is a testament to human ingenuity and stubbornness. If you learned something new, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, if you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for tuning in, and join us next time here in the channel that answers all the why, what, who, where, and how questions you've always wondered about. Here on Explaining Everything.